Do you know what makes a woman attractive to a man? Men might have various reasons why they are attracted to women. I could tell you what makes a woman attractive to me, and it might be totally different than most men. First of all, let's just get this out of the way. There is always, virtually always, a physical attraction by a woman to a man. A man, in other words, is almost always attracted to a woman's physical appearance. Now, that physical appearance and acceptance is different from man to man. There are some men that like women tall, some men that like women short, medium size or height. There are some women that appeal to men who are stout, medium built, thin, very thin, or even very heavy. Believe it or not. I've lived long enough to experience this and to know people who have all of these different preferences, if you will, or choices in women. There are some men that are looking more at a woman's package, as some might call it. How large her breasts are, how long her butt is, and them in comparison sometimes. But by no means, never imagine that the physical appearance of a woman or anyone for that matter equals what's in their head. In other words, if you look at a body that's a 10, that individual may be a 1 when it comes to common sense, when it comes to intelligence, when it comes to ethics, and the list can go on. So, what makes a woman to me unattractive? What makes a woman unattractive to me, first of all, is a woman who, I have to be very careful how I say this, a woman who tries to take the place of a man's position as a man. Women have a place and men have a place in a relationship. Now, this is highly controversial to some people, and some want to debate this. But ask yourself this question: are you debating this because society has led you to debate, or is this something that you know to be true across the board, that we're supposed to be equal? Men and women are not supposed to be equal in terms of our roles from a natural standpoint. It doesn't mean, however, that men can't give some and women can't give some. Men can't compromise and women can't compromise. We should do that, especially in today's society, because things are not the way they were 50, 60 years ago, or even 100 years ago. We have to help each other more today than we ever did in the past years, past century. So those times have indeed changed. In other words, for example, there are some situations where both partners in the relationship have to work in order to provide for themselves and their families. Used to not be that way. There are some situations where one can't work and the other one has to carry the load for the other partner. And that could be the male or the female in that relationship. The woman, in other words, has to understand that sometimes if something happened, God forbid, that her partner is injured or becomes crippled or handicapped, that she might have to carry the load. She would want the man to do that for her. Remember the old vows, marriage vows, till death do us part, through sickness and in health? That almost is non-existent anymore. People are trying to go for themselves for the most part, and they don't really look at things that way anymore. It's like, if you can't pull your load, then we have to leave this situation. I don't want to be with someone that can't pull their load. Did you forget that we're all human beings? We're not the same. Things happen. People get sick. People get injured. Would you kick your child out the house because your child has developed some severe condition such as MS, or let's say some brain disorder or what have you, or they become crippled from a car wreck or what have you? God forbid that happen as well. Would you get rid of your child? So why would you get rid of your man? Why would you get rid of your woman if that happened to them? Makes sense, right? Maybe I make too much sense. So again, getting back to the original premise of the video, what does a man look for in a woman? And what I don't look for, and I pointed out one thing that I don't look for, is a woman trying to be me, trying to take my role in the home as a man. Now, I won't go too much in detail as far as what a woman's position is or should be traditionally in the home. We know that she is the caregiver for the children for the most part. Gets them ready for school, make sure they do the homework, go to bed and take a bath and all these other things. And the man is supposed to be the breadwinner traditionally. That doesn't always work that way in today's society. I've already pointed that out. So another thing that I don't look for in a woman is that the woman is always trying to usurp authority over me, telling me what to do as if I don't have any choice. Now, conversely, the man shouldn't be treating the woman as though she's a slave or subservient to him. We both have roles again. We must respect one another's roles, and sometimes we have to go from one role to the next to support the partner. If my wife is working a job and she's tired and doesn't want to cook, I cook. If I'm tired when I get home and I don't have the time, or I'm so tired that I can't take the trash out, she takes the trash out. It's called sharing. It's called reciprocation. Now, another thing that I don't look for in a woman is that the woman would deny me sex. Sex is very much a part and a reality of a relationship. You can try to slice it any way that you want to slice it. You're not supposed to deny me sex. Even if you're angry with me for whatever reason, or we have a dispute or a disagreement, you don't deny me sex. That's something that I don't look for in a woman. Now, while I'm on that topic, let me say this. I can't deny her sex. I don't care, excuse my expression, if she pissed me off, she looked at me the wrong way, said something to me out of order. That's still my wife. That's still my mate. I'm supposed to provide for her emotionally and even physically and financially. And she's supposed to do the same thing for me. We are together in this for the long haul, I would hope. So let me tell you this. I'm not looking at a woman to be an Amazonian. She doesn't have to have the largest breast in the world. Doesn't have to have the apple-shaped body. She doesn't have to have the pear-shaped body. She doesn't have to have a big rear end. All she has to have is a mutual love and respect for me. That's what I'm looking for in a woman. Does she have that? That's what you really should be looking for in a woman. Now, I know it's going to fluctuate back and forth between individuals. There are some men that like women that have medium breast or a small rear end. But physical attributes mean absolutely nothing when it comes to relationship, because once you get in that relationship and you begin to live together, people show up here. You find out what the likes are, what the dislikes are, how people's feelings are, and what your views are on life in general, on religion, spirituality, if you want to call it, on politics, and so forth. Do you have those things in common? So what do you look for in a woman, men? I look for a woman that loves me as much as I love her, unconditionally. I don't dislike you or not love you just because you don't necessarily want to do certain activities that I do or that I'm involved in. I expect you to respect what I do, especially if I did that when I first met you. You shouldn't expect me to stop anything that I was doing when we get together. You shouldn't. Just like I should not infringe upon those things that you did when I met you. But with that said, let me say this. Don't spring anything new on me while we're in the relationship. For example, I don't drink and I don't smoke and I don't take drugs and I never have. That is the truth about Brother Teacher. Now, a lot of people didn't believe that when I told them this over the years. They're saying, you've never been high. I said, no. They said, you've never been drunk. No. They didn't believe me. But once they've gotten to know me, they know that I don't do those things. It's a matter of choice. And it's my choice. So, if the woman in my life, or comes in my life, and I'm speaking hypothetically, if a woman comes in my life and she knows that I'm not doing those things, don't try to force me to do those because those things you want to do. And if a woman comes into my life, hypothetically speaking again, that never smoked and never drank, when she came into my relationship with me, and she knew that I was against those things and didn't believe in those things, and all of a sudden she's drinking and she's smoking, I'm going to feel a certain way. And it's not going to be good. And if that woman continues to do those things after I've already expressed to that woman, hey, you know me, have known me, and you know that I don't participate in these types of activities and that I'm against them. Why are you doing these things in our home now? And if she says to you or says to me, well, I'm an adult, I can do anything I want to do, I'm grown and it's not that serious, why would she say anything like that to you? So I'm saying this, in essence, I'm saying this. When you come together as a couple, even as a married couple, everything should be on the table. This is how I am, and this is how you are. And if you decide to continue with that relationship, there's nothing hidden. But to come later on, years down the road maybe, and you're presenting something new to the relationship after you've already established what your boundaries were in the beginning, do you expect your partner to see you the same way? They are not going to be happy. Getting back to the point again, that is what I wouldn't expect in a woman. So, in conclusion, what I look for in a woman is honesty from day one. Don't pull any surprises on me. I'm not looking at you just physically when we meet, or you built this same way I've imagined all my life, this hourglass body. Not looking for that. I'm looking for you fundamentally to respect me as I will respect you. I'm looking for you fundamentally to support me in all that I do as I would support you. I'm looking for you to love me unconditionally as I would love you unconditionally, despite your appearance. Because if I'm with you because I accepted you as you were, without conditions. This is Brother Teacher. Men, what are you looking for in a woman? And I hope it's not just her body. I'm out.